Hello friends, welcome to my channel of Bad Decisions and Pure Awkwardness. I'm your host Elizabeth. If I look a little mad, it's because I am. And that is because I just filmed half of this video in slow motion. And then I turned the camera off, getting ready to film the next portion, and part of it didn't film at all. So we're just going to restart this like nothing happened. So today I am drinking Mina Mesa. It is from, is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and it is from Paso Robles. It is from a gift from my friend Megan, so thank you, Megan. Again, I thanked you in the first portion, the first version of this video. I'm thanking you again, so thank you. Today we're going to be playing with the new Hocus Pocus palette from ColourPop. This is the Hocus Pocus 2 palette from ColourPop. It is a pressed powder palette. It is called All Hallows Eve. It is adorable. I love the little snake detailing here and the little moons and stars. Adorable packaging. This is what the inside looks like. From the outside, you can just see the witches' faces, but on the inside, you can see a little bit more. And this is what the inside of the palette looks like. So, the witch is there. And then this is what the color story looks like. Very bright, very colorful, very fun. I know a lot of people complained about the first collection being kind of bland. Personally, I didn't have a problem with it. It is a neutral palette, but I think it's still beautiful. So that's what this one is. It is called Gather Round Sisters. I kind of like the packaging of this one more just because it's like a little more spooky. I think ultimately, eventually, they should do a collection where they have the palette look like book with a little eye. I think that would be really cute, but that's what this one looks like. This is the color story. It's very well loved. I think that all these palettes in this, in all three collections would look really good together, but this one is especially neutral. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really good palette. But it's not for everyone. I get that a lot of people said that it didn't match like the energy from the first movie, so I get that, but I still think it's really cute. Then we have the second palette. It's a little bit smaller. It's called The Witching Hour. This is what it looks like on the outside. Again, very cute packaging. This is probably my least favorite out of the collection, but I will say that this one will pair well with the newest one. So if you want to see a video of me doing that or comparing the three palettes and doing a look with all three palettes, I'm happy to do that. Just leave a comment down below. I didn't get everything in all three collections just because I know I'm not going to use all three things, but I did... From this collection, from the newest collection, I did get one of the Jelly Much shadows. It's called I Am Calm. Super cute packaging. This is the outer, or the inner packaging. Super adorable. Little kitty cat on it. I'm wearing my kitty cat earrings today. If you've never used the Jelly Much shadows, they're kind of like a putty, jelly. A jelly formula, so it's like jelly with glitter or like shimmer in it, and you don't have to have like a base down to use them, so that's kind of nice. However, I will say this is kind of like an iridescent with like a green. I'll swatch it for you. I will say that if you have sensitive eyes, you might have an issue with these because I do. They do kind of irritate my eyes. Pardon the staining of my hands. I did a few swatches in the slow motion video that I filmed. So that's what the Jelly Much shadow looks like. Super pretty. Very sparkly. Lots of glitter. Lovely. Very pretty. But like I said, if you have eye irritation at all, you might want to steer clear of these because they do make my eyes water. I only have like 3 of these in my collection, 3 different types of Jelly Bean shadows in my collection. I thought that we could play with this palette today on its own. Like I said, if you want to see a video of me doing something with all 3 palettes or all on their own, let me know. But I've done several looks. I can try to remember to post those here. And if you want to check out my Instagram, I have lots of pictures from other looks that I've done. I've used it maybe 3 or 4 times. I can't remember. Three times so far. So today I think I want to focus on the green and I want to focus on the green and the orange because that's what I started doing in my last video. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to do orange on the top, fade to the dark green, and then do green on the bottom. I have one of the lip cremes from last year's collection. This is the Sarah Sanderson lip creme. It is called Hello Boys, and it is in black. So that's what that looks like. So I think we're going to use that today as well. So I've already primed my eyes because I'm very frustrated that I filmed everything in slow motion. So I got a jump start on that. I am using my mirror that I always use in all my videos. This is from last year's collection. It's a little faded and dirty, but that's what that looks like. I just love the little cat ears on it. So first I'm going to start with Spellbook. It is this just neutral like orange shade right here. Cannot believe I filmed everything in slow motion. I'm so frustrated. So I'm putting that in my crease and just above the crease. Just kind of wiggling it in. Using a Zoeva brush. If you see I see a little speck of glitter, that's from the Jelly Bean shadow, and I had to take it off because I filmed everything in slow motion. That's great. So just kind of putting a base down. We're going to fade into that orange and then the green. I guess it all kind of worked out because I kind of messed up the first look because I used the green too late. But, so maybe this will be better. Positivity. How do you film something in slow motion, like really, and not notice? I kind of noticed a weird like thing on my phone, or on my monitor. I use another phone as my monitor so that I can see what I'm doing. And I noticed like a weird like ring around the record button. And then I noticed that the record like time wasn't working. And I was like, what's going on? And then I went to stop the video so that I could put like my base makeup on. And it started the video. Started recording. And then I went back and looked at the other 2 videos that I had, recorded already, and they were all in slow motion. I was like, cool, love this. This is so great. So great. Now I'm going into Doomed, this shade right here. I have like glitter and all kinds of things all over me. Oh my god. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in my crease. I'm going to leave the outer edge blank, but I'm going to focus this mostly on the front portion of the lid and in the crease. We're just going to build that up. Just kind of wiggling it back and forth and then kind of swirling it to blend. And I'm just taking it about halfway across the lid. Just like this. If you know, you know. This is a Luxie brush. I do not know. It's a precision blending brush, 243 I believe. And I'm going to go into Night of Sins, this one right here. I'm just going to pick that up and put that on the outer V area. And I'm kind of packing it so that color shows up a good bit. And I'm kind of making it into like the V, or I'm sorry, a wing a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that gently into the orange. Not really like blending so much, but like pushing it into the orange so that they don't like muddy up so much. I don't want a brown necessarily. I want them to be two separate colors. So kind of like that. We're going to cover up a good bit of this with shimmer so it's not like a big deal that there's, you know, some space in there. So do not fret about that. It's all going to come together, I promise. I'm confident. Have you guys seen the second movie? I thought it was actually better than I expected. I'm always worried about sequels or reboots. And this was pretty cute. I thought parts were a little rushed. I thought the climax was very slow, which is weird. I know that's like something weird to say. Climax was slow, like a slow build. And then the ending was too quick. So that's like really the only like problem that I had with the movie. And I don't even necessarily think that's that big of a deal. I wish that they had focused a little more. This doesn't spoil anything, but I wish they had focused a little bit more on like the redemption arc of the sisters. Because they kind of tried to throw that in at the end, and I didn't think that really made sense with the rest of the movie. So, I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the first one. That's just how it's going to be. First one was the best. I'm going back in with my first brush that I used in Spellbook. And I'm just touching up those edges just a tiny bit, just so there's no harsh lines on that green. Or try to anyway. I think that looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to use some of my NYX glitter primer. And I'm just going to take a little bloop of that, rub my fingers together. So I've got little bloops. And then put that on most of the lid until I get to the green. We're going to cover that up with the orange shimmer. And we're also going to use some of that Jelly Mutt shadow, as long as it doesn't irritate my eyes. Okay, we're going to go into Marvelous, this color right here. And I'm going to put that on most of my lid. Going to start in the middle, kind of gently work my way into the green. Again, I don't want to cover up the green. And I'm working that to about 3/4 of the lid, I'd say, but leaving a little bit for the Jelly Mutt shadow that we're going to put in the inner corner. I kind of love that. That's really cool. That is such a pretty orange shimmer. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. We're going to go back into Night of Sins, that green color. I'm just going to kind of gently tap over the edges just to bring back some of that pigment. Like so. Then I'm going to pick up that same brush that I used the shimmer. I'm not putting anything else on. And I'm going back over just to kind of like meld those two together so it's no super harsh lines like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Jelly Mutt shadow. I'm going to use the lid because there's quite a bit of product on the lid. And I'm using a flat, what is this, a small packer brush from BH, just like a thin, tiny brush. And in my opinion, the best thing to do with these Jelly Mutt shadows is to work like in thin layers. So, to let them dry down so it's not so chunky. So I'm going to start with like that much on my brush. It looks like a lot, but it's really gently tap on that inner corner and blend that into the orange. Otherwise, like, it'll get kind of chunky. And my eyes will start watering. So I just want to work like very slowly, really. And I can already tell that this eye is going to give me some issues. Because it's my left eye. And if you've been here a while, you know that my left eye is my problem child. So, okay. I think I don't like the way this left eye looks, but I don't think there's any way to like fix that for me. But that's how it's gonna look. I'm leaving it at that. I'm not gonna put any more layers on top. I might, once this one dries down, I might go into Candle as a Light, because it is very similar to the Jelly Mutt shadow, but it's very similar to the Jelly Mutt shadow. So I'm gonna put that on to kind of like seal it in. We'll see. So I'm going to use the flat part of that brush that I just used to pick up Candle is a Light. And just gently tap that over top. And I'm just using a tiny, tiny bit. It doesn't need to be much. And that didn't help the left eye that much, but here we are. It is what it is, honestly. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with the top eye, I think, the top part of the eye. So I think I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do my base, my bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and then I will be back. Okay, so I put down my base, my bronzer, my blush, and highlighter. For bronzer, I used my e.l.f. Primer Infused bronzer in Forever Sun-Kissed. For blush, I used my Odin's Eye blush from the Soul Mon 2 collection in Warm Sun. For highlighter, I also used the highlighter from Soul Mon 2 collection in Moon Talk. It's a little bit green, so I've got the orange and the green going on here to match my eyes. So now let's finish the eyes. I'm going to take my brush that I used for that green shade, Night of Sins, and I'm just going to pick up a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. And I'm going to run that on the lower lash line, just ever so gently. And we are going to blend this out with the brighter green. I'm going to take Cursed. It is kind of a shimmery green. It is kind of shimmery, but I think it's going to be fine to blend this out. Yeah, just like that. And I'm going to take a smaller brush, I think, just this domed pencil brush from BH, and I'm going to go back into Night of Sins, pick up a tiny little bit, and really focus that back in, because we want that to be kind of the star of the show. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go into 17th Century. It's this silver shade right here, and I'm going to put that on the innermost part of the lower lash line. and my inner corner. Just brighten that up. I'm going to take a little bit of Brew Another Batch. That is the shimmery green. I'm going to put that where those two meet, the greens meet with the silver, so that it looks like that. Okay, so this is what it looks like without liner, mascara, lashes. I'm going to go off camera, do that, and then I'll be back. So this is the final look. My eyes watering a little bit, like I said, to be expected with the Jelly Matte shadows. But I actually forgot that I had these lashes from the first collection of Hocus Pocus and ColourPop. These are the Flirty Witch lashes, and that's what they look like. And I had to cut quite a bit off of them because they're very, very full and fluffy and very long. So, but this is what they look like. I also forgot to mention the lipstick that I use, and that is Orange Cookie from Peri Para. So I was going to use the black lipstick, and I thought the oranges kind of tied in together, so I wanted to use that instead. But let me know if you want to see free looks with this palette, and make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do. And